Let's go back.
What's going on out there, Junkie Nation? It's Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. We hope you all had a really awesome weekend. There's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We got to talk about the Supergirl finale. We got to talk about the Flash finale that's coming on tonight. We got to talk about, this Justice League news that just dropped yesterday, some really tragic news. But before I get into all that, let me check who's going to be on the show today. And we got GQ and we got Josh L. What's up, guys?
What's going on, Kenny? Good to be here.
So how was your weekend, everybody?
Busy.
Busy? What'd you do?
Went to the Comic-Con this weekend, Motor City Comic-Con. Me and my co-host from Podcast for All Seasons, Eric Joseph, we went there both days. Well, he actually was there all 3 days, but went there Saturday and Sunday myself, and just saw a lot of things, took a lot of pictures, got a lot of comic books signed. He got an interview with Ali McCulka. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ooh, that fine piece of meat, Ali McCulka. Ooh.
Yes. Quite an attractive lady for sure. She looked like a as they call a secretary. She had the spectacles on, like a hot librarian, and it was a good look.
Love a girl in glasses. How about you, GQ?
Not too much. The usual. Spent some money. Played some Injustice 2. So, it was a pretty good weekend. Yeah. Want to say what's up to Marcus Smith over there in the chat on Facebook.
What's going on out there, Marcus? So we're also going to talk about Injustice 2 as well. I got it last weekend. This past Monday. Been playing it. I like a lot. Did you end up getting it, Josh? Did you get it, or have you played it yet?
No, actually, I haven't even had a chance to get to a store that wasn't a comic book related. So yeah, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to pick it up yet.
That's okay.
I know it's the whip, though. I mean, that's what everyone's saying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So hey, if you guys didn't know, we're actually also live on Periscope right now as well. That's a new feature that we kind of introduced into the show this week. So we want to welcome some of our fans that are watching over there. If you have a Twitter account and you want to check us out on Twitter on the road, go ahead and do that. But let's get to some actually tragic news real fast. Yesterday it came out that Justice League director Zack Snyder had to step away from the project because to attend to some personal family matters. It came out that his daughter committed suicide at the age of 20. He still persisted doing Justice League, but with the upcoming reshoots, he felt he had to step away. And interesting news is Joss Whedon is stepping in for him. But first, what does it say about Zack Snyder that in the midst of this terrible tragedy that he actually persisted working on Justice League? I heard you two kind of talking about it in pre-show. What were some of your comments that you were saying, GQ?
I mean, obviously, nobody wants to have to, step away from anything for this, especially for that type of reason. I mean, for killing themselves, especially your daughter killing themselves, that's not something that you want to, be taking on and dealing with the stress and the anguish of. Now, granted, he might be the type of person that throws himself headlong into work to try to, fight through that pain. That's not something that you should try. I mean, in my opinion, that's not something that someone should do. And, I have to actually applaud him for stepping aside and realizing that it's like, hey, this movie ain't all that special as far as, not saying it as a, as a knock to DC or anything like that. It's just, there's way more important things in life than your job at this point. You know, granted, you're doing Justice League, so labor of love and all that, but your family is going through something. And it's like, there's way more important things than work, and that's honestly my feeling on that.
Right. What'd you think, Josh, when you heard the news?
I mean, it's really, really sad. It turns out that it happened back in March. So, I was saying in pre-show to GQ. I mean, my heart goes out to the guy and his family. I mean, the guy has been probably suffering for a couple months now. Nobody in the public eye knows it, and simultaneously because of the notoriety of Batman versus Superman and people saying, "Oh, Zack Snyder better nail this thing." I kind of feel bad. The guy's probably getting dogged pretty hard from people who don't like him, while
He really shouldn't
simultaneously,
be. He really doesn't deserve that.
yeah, I mean, while simultaneously suffering through this. I think that the other thing is that the other significant thing is the fact that um, he did say, apparently in a short statement, that was his intention, was to try and kind of, why it happened 2 months after. He tried to throw himself into his work in the hopes that it would make the grief more more functionable, or more functional. I'm at a loss for words as the best way to put it. But he ultimately said he saw his family suffering and that it was time to step away. And I think it was the right decision for him and his family. So, you know, hearts out
Right.
to him and his family. I don't know what it's like to go through a tragedy like that. Not a
Right.
lot of people do. And those that do, they understand exactly what he's going through. And I'm sure that they feel for him. So,
As they should. Absolutely as they should. Now, when I first heard this news come out, and hearing that Joss Whedon is going to be taking over, rightfully you could think that, oh yeah, this is going to be a great thing, or all this other kind of stuff. But honestly, some people had the wrong idea when it actually did first come out, and they were kind of saying, oh well, forget Justice League, Zack Snyder's bad, this is going to be great for DC, DC's got a curse. And I find that nonsensical talk. Now, Joss Whedon is only going to be doing the reshoots, so I don't really expect a lot of his handiwork to be all over Justice League in the finished product. But with that being said, GQ, what would you expect? Joss Whedon to put his little touch on Justice League. What do you think he's going to do, if anything?
I think honestly, and this is something that Josh and I were actually talking about earlier too. Was he? I don't think he's going to do too much to it. I mean, he's going to, yes, he's going to be doing, in charge of doing the reshoots and that sort of thing. But I don't think he's going to, especially given the circumstance, try to take it away from the narrative and the tone and the feeling that Snyder had for the film to begin with. Just out of respect of, one of his fellow directors. I don't think he's
Mm-hmm.
going to really try to put, because again, this isn't the Avengers. It's not treated in the same way. It's not handled in the same way, because it can't be, because DC went a different path with their team up movie. So he's not going to have the familiarity with Aquaman. This is Aquaman's origins, in a sense, as well as Cyborg and the Flash and the other characters that have not had full movies dedicated to them. So I don't think Whedon's. I don't think you're going to get the feel of a Whedon film in this movie. There's going to be a little bit here and there just because of the fact that it's two different directors, but I don't think you're going to get that difference. You're not going to get Avengers 3, so to speak, in this film. And Fall of Marvel also was chiming in on the chat. He was saying it's nearly impossible to work through given the circumstances. Sometimes things like that can reflect in your work, and it's good that he was able to realize that he needed to step away, and I agree 100% with that. That's something that with this film, something of this magnitude, and like you said, the fans are going to be the fans, and that's actually something I want to touch on real quick, and then I'm going to turn it back over to you guys. People are so quick to look at a headline and then put their comment down. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't read the whole story. You look like an ass, down in this dude because like he stepped away from a film. I don't care how much you might like DC or Marvel or Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Catwoman, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is this dude's family, and he
Right.
stepped away from the film because it's not because he couldn't handle it. It's because something way more important than a film, happened in his life. And he soldiered on for about 2 months, and then realize that, look, I got to step away.
Yeah.
So people are gonna put their little silly snarky comments left and right. It's like, stop being dumb. Like, learn how to read first, then put your comment down. If you're still gonna be an
Man.
ass about it, don't even bother to comment.
Right, man. I mean, our discussion group was rife with, well, I wouldn't say rife, but there was one or two really really poor comments that were left in that vein that were like, trying to bash him and saying he's like, oh well, all this other kind of stuff. I mean, dude, this is real life, man. I mean, at the end of the day, this is all fantasy stuff. Yeah, we enjoy it, but it's nothing is ever as serious as a tragedy, as a family. So all of us here at Culture Junkies, you want to send our best wishes out there to Zack Snyder and his family. We wish him no ill will. We hope he's able to get through this really trying time, and hopefully return to the franchise and bring something positive to the table. In any case, let's move on. Of course, last week we had Injustice 2 come out. I got the game. GQ, you got the game. What do we think about Injustice 2 versus Injustice 1? How do you like it so far?
Obviously a heck of a lot more characters right off the bat. I mean, just
Right.
just available from as soon as you turn the game on. The story is good. I do like the fact that they branched off and added where you have moments where you have to team up with another hero and you have to decide who you want to fight in that moment, and then of course whoever you didn't pick, you can go back and play their part and fill in those gaps, because the narrative changes slightly if you play the other person, and obviously there's an alternate ending because they make you pick between one hero or another to finish off the game. So I mean, they did a good job on that aspect. It doesn't add like a ton of replayability, because I mean, I honestly did the story mode and then went back and filled in the gaps in like half an hour, after I had finished the story mode, which is probably a good, if you watch all the cutscenes, probably a good 3-4 hours worth of play. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you don't buy that game just for the story. The action and the actual fighting is basically more of the same, and there's nothing wrong with that. The first Injustice was a lot of fun. I mean, I got the collector's edition, so I mean that had an extra Power Girl skin, Reverse Flash, and John Stewart. But again, they're just skins. They don't have there's no changes to the move sets. They're the exact same characters, just with different skins. So.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I got the collector's edition. Actually, I got the standard edition, and then I paid the extra money to get essentially the season pass, which turns it into the collector's edition.
So you don't have a steelbook.
Yeah, I didn't get the steelbook. I reserved mine too late. So yeah, but I mean, I don't really care about covers like that, so that didn't bother me. But what I really liked about it was the single player element. In the story, and spoilers for a little bit for you that haven't played it yet. But it almost felt like they were trying to bring the Justice League back together after kind of breaking them apart in the first game. And then what I liked is toward the end, it was like it acknowledged that some things are just too far gone. You can't go back home again. That's kind of what I liked about it.
I like that too. And then I'm not sure which ending you did first, but there's some costumes.
Come on, I think you can guess.
There's some costumes in a certain person's ending that I want made available because they're badass.
They are.
Yeah, they better make those available.
Yeah, those would be pretty sweet. And speaking of costumes, if you don't necessarily like the costumes that are in, hello JK over there on Periscope, thank you for joining the show. One of the things that I liked most about Injustice was the single player element. I like the multiverse thing. I like the mother boxes that unlock like costume pieces. They really turned it almost into like an RPG type thing with a fighting game element where you can like mix and match and create your own costumes and color shadings and all that other kind of stuff. I thought that was pretty sweet. What'd you think?
No, they did a good job with it. Yeah, they did a good job with the overall package and everything that they're making available. So I mean, it's a definite improvement. The problem is it's about to be overload because Tekken 7 comes next week.
Oh my God, yes.
So
yeah, that's gonna be rough.
It's about to be fighting game heaven. I see somebody over there driving home. It looks like
right. Great Datakuji, is that you? Are you checking in, my brother?
This is the Great Datakuji. He is driving home on a not really a dark but a somewhat stormy night. And yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's raining where I'm at, so.
No, all right. I'm glad you quantified that. Thank you very much.
Technically, so it's light outside. It's past the time. You can call it nighttime.
So Dido, what do you do when somebody grabs your favorite neck and slams you up against the table?
I'm back of your favorite head against the barroom wall.
Right.
And you just look that guy right in the eyes.
Right.
Yes,
Paid your dues.
asking if you paid your dues. Check is in the mail.
Check is in the mail, my friend. For those of you that don't know, that is a Big Trouble in Little China little joke. Hopefully, you
Anybody
guys
that's
are up
listening
on
that
it.
doesn't know
Man,
that is too
come on
young.
now. Yeah, come on.
Too
now.
young if you don't know that one.
You know what? There's no excuses for being too young. There's great culture. You got to pay attention to great culture, and Big Trouble in Little China is definitely that. Nicholas Autry,
know,
yes,
man.
Tekken 7
Don't
is
know
coming
about
out
it once
next weekend.
There is a such thing as being too young though, because a friend of mine who lives out west, her son isn't really a Star Wars fan, and the reason he's not a Star Wars fan, he's more of an Avengers and Superman and Batman and
Oh
and
my!
that kind of. This is the fact that he was born in 2000, so it's
Yeah.
like okay,
Right
during that
around-
era, X-Men
Yeah.
and all the comic book movies started. Star Wars, the next Star Wars movie was like 2005 for him, or 2002 and into 2005, but he was 2 and
Yeah.
5, so you're not exposed to that as much.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, he missed Star Wars. Now, granted, Star Wars has come back again, but he grew up in the era of comic book movies and that sort of thing, so he's more into those. So there is definitely a sense of being too young, especially the way we get our entertainment now, because
Right.
it's so focused on whatever you like, that's what you see more of.
Right. Couple of quick things. One question from Marcus Smith over on Facebook. He's asking, will Tekken 7 have the New Japan Pro Wrestling skins available for download here, or is that strictly in Japan? Do you know?
Actually, the first I've heard of them, so I'm gonna have to look that up and see.
Okay.
I got the Super Mega Collector's Edition that has
course
like
you did.
Heihachi, and Jen as a statue.
Wait,
I know his name, but, Kazuya.
Oh,
Huh?
skin? Is it gonna get a Kenny Omega skin?
Who knows?
Who
The thing
knows?
is, Tekken has actually been really good on their customization, so I
They
mean, they
have.
might sneak it in there.
Oh boy.
Right. Mr. Zombie Fighter over there on Twitch, thank you for watching the stream. If you haven't followed us yet, please do hit us with a follow, and let's see who you get as a character. Anthony Mentor, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Q, you kind of jumped the gun. I was going to get to this, but we might as well get to it now since you kind of brought it up. Remember, I kind of wanted to do a segment of the show where we kind of did a feed type segment. It's not quite ready yet, but we can go ahead and jump into it. Let's feed our addiction a little bit. New things that are coming out this weekend that we might want to check out. Definitely number one on my list is Friday the 13th. The game is coming out on Friday. That, from the Kickstarter all the way up, looked like a fantastic game. Who's getting it?
I didn't know it was coming out. I guess I'll have to get it. How much is it supposed to be?
The regular price, $60.
Yeah, it can wait till it's 15 for me.
Wait. It's DLC. It's down. I'm sorry, not DLC. It's download only.
I'm not sure about that. It might be. It may or may not be. But if it is, would that put you off? Would you not get it?
Yeah, I'm not giving anybody $60 for a download code.
Yeah, exactly.
That's physical prices right there. I'm sorry,
Even if you like literally get to run around as Jason killing people.
dude. I can run around as Jason killing people in all of my dreams and for free. I don't need to give nobody $60 for basically a link.
Well,
Basically, on the
Q is
PlayStation,
saying it's only
12
$40,
digits.
but Q is saying it's only $40. But still, would that change
It's
your
still
mind?
physical prices. I'm with 100% with Dido on this, man. $15-$20.
Okay, all right.
Really?
But
If it's only digital, man, they're not. Who are they paying for packaging? Who are they paying? None of that is.
I don't know.
Cost.
I don't know. I
They
couldn't
sent-
tell you.
they
I
sent-
couldn't tell you.
They sent Steam, Microsoft, and Sony a digital file. They have absolutely no overhead. I don't care how much Kickstarter, whatever, this and that. They have zero overhead, so that thing should not be costing $40 for a digital only. Sorry, can't help you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I see that they're probably trying to recoup
Oh, yep,
costs.
yep.
But
Well,
I mean,
it's $40 on Steam. I don't know where it is elsewhere, but still, I understand.
I'll be honest. The game looks fun. It looks
It
it,
does.
looks like it'll probably be decent. But I mean, it doesn't look hyper polished because it's not by a big studio, which is a little disappointing.
Right.
It's a one-trick pony, dude. Unless is it going to be like Prey, where one person's Jason and everybody else trying to hide away from him? And
Yes.
he takes turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's.
No. You can play as a combination of either the actual camp counselors trying to get away from him or as Jason.
Yeah. So I figure it's still that's like that game Prey. If you remember, not Prey, Evolves. Excuse me. that came out where you had the monster and you had a group of people trying to kill the monster, or one person could be the monster going against 4 other people. That's exactly what it is, and that game is just that's not worth $40 or $60 because you can have some fun, stalking people or being stalked, but then after that, we're what more can you do for that? So, my price point for a digital game, it's gonna go on sale one day, and when it does, and it's like $10 or less, then maybe. Knowing how the game systems are nowadays, they give away darn near stuff for free every month. One day it might be free. Right. And if you guys were out there with your ear to the floor, you guys would have got tons of freaking sale games that they had on Xbox not too long ago. 75% off on shit ton of.
So, yes. Right. Sony does it a lot too. They have a lot of flash sales, and
they do.
And Left 4 Dead had a feature like that too, where like one person would play like one of the tanks, and then like you had the other people trying to take them down. So I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's cool, but I'm not giving them. It's not worth $40 quite yet. And honestly, if I were them, I would have held off until October of this year because that actually is a Friday the 13th.
It seems odd to release it in May. That does seem odd. I apologize for my dog in the background there. But in any case, another thing that's coming out movies wise.
Meow Yin has joined. Hi, Meow Yin.
Meow Yin is in the chat. Hey, girl. Okay. Here's what else is coming out this week. What's coming out this week in the movies is Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I think that's it. I think that's that's this Friday coming out. Who's eager to see another Pirates movie? I'm not.
I am. I said I might be the only 2 people going to see that then.
Please, please tell me why. Enlighten me.
All right, I'll tell you exactly why. So, first things first, the very first Pirates movie set up a pretty big universe, and it was fun and it was exciting. But I think that even though I liked the second and the third movies, they made some missteps. And I was telling Chris in pre-show, I think that the fourth movie, they just told a really good narrative in that sandbox universe, and seeing how it's been so heavily established at this point, I think that this next one's going to allow them the opportunity to do exactly that. I think it's going to be more like 4, less like 2 and 3. They're going to just tell a good story. It's going to be set in the universe of Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm excited for it.
I think it.
Nah, the reason I want to see it is also and it looks like Waffles dropped in and said Friday the 13th comes out on the 26th. So I guess we're a little bit off on that one.
No, but even a lot of the places are saying it comes out this week. So we got conflicting reports. I got reports that's coming out this week.
We'll see. Somebody will spend $40 for it. Yeah. But I look at it this way: like Pirates is about to be the second movie that I see this week, because we're going to go see Wonder Woman tomorrow.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
But Pirates falls into what I like to call Disney's classic villains repertoire. All the Pirates villains have been freaking awesome actors. Every single one of them.
Jeffrey Rush was one.
Yeah, exactly.
He was fantastic.
Yep. Bill Nighy was Davy Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I even like the guy that played Beckett. Like the character. Yeah. The way he played him was so just wrong and raw and just like it's only business. Like I like the way he played it. Like he literally came into their wedding and was like, I have an arrest warrant for a Will Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
I don't give a damn what's going on.
Like the father-in-law comes over and is like, hold on, this is Elizabeth Swann. He's like, oh,
I don't care.
Oh, that's inconvenient. Oh, right. I got one for her too.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did not care. So I was like, I liked him, and it was just like, and then I forgot the guy's name, but you go in the guy that played Blackbeard, he was perfect. And now you got Javier Bardem playing like this new Spanish captain.
Yeah.
So it's like the villains have been like in the pantheon of hardcore, just Disney's evil, down and dirty villains. So I mean, it's like. Yeah, the whole Jack Sparrow, because all the women, love, Johnny Depp and Jack Sparrow. I like the character; he's cool, but the villains he's always going against is what makes the movies for me.
Q just pointed out something very, 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 very apt, and so did Fallen Marvel. They say that
the 26th is Friday.
The 26th is Friday, so it does come out Friday, just like I said. So,
Okay, there you go.
Hand of Omega Wonder Woman does not come out tomorrow. We get to go see a screening tomorrow, thanks to Big Kahuna with them quick
Big
responses.
Kahuna Burger.
Big Kahuna Burger. That's right. What's up, Trap, my man? How you doing? Thanks for watching the show. Finally, before we jump into the main topic, also coming out this week is The Rock's Baywatch movie with Zac Efron. I usually don't go see comedies in the theater like this, but this one actually looks really funny. So I'm halfway tempted to go check it out. Maybe at the matinee, I'll go see it. What do you guys think about Baywatch? Brian Cannon, what's up? How you doing? You want to go see it because of The Rock?
I like his movies. I went to go see that last comedy he was in. What was it? With Kevin Hart.
With Kevin Hart.
Central Intelligence.
Central Intelligence. Yeah.
That movie was freaking hilarious. And
I like The Rock, but I'll go see it for Priyanka Chopra.
So will I. I'll go see it for Alexandra Daddario too. Nah, these aren't bad choices. These aren't bad reasons to go see this movie. The Rock is just like extra on top. Zac Efron, I can completely forget about him. But I think the movie would be good.
The movies I've seen him in is actually pretty good. Like Neighbors and that movie where Robert De Niro and him were in the road.
I kind of wanted to see Neighbors and I didn't. Maybe because I really don't like Seth Rogen like that. So that might have been it. So
Neighbors.
Hold on, what you got against Jewish actors?
It's not against Jewish actors. I'm not, I'm not anti-Semitic or anything like that. I just don't like his movies, and for whatever reason, I don't know, something about him. I just don't feel it. Hey,
No, I'm not a huge Seth Rogen fan either. But the Neighbors movies were pretty funny. My wife loves Zac Efron, which I get
of course,
why. Yeah, I mean, look at the guy. But the same thing with The Rock. So that movie's got a little bit of something for the ladies and the guys, and
Absolutely.
It looks really funny. It looks really funny.
Q saying he hears Baywatch is garbage, but you know what we always say: form your own opinions. Do not believe the reviewer. Believe us.
Happy birthday to Marcus Smith.
Yes, Marcus Smith
coming up this Thursday
on the 25th. That's right, absolutely. So happy birthday to you guys. All right, so that's feeding our addiction. We're gonna definitely check those things out. Tomorrow after Wonder Woman is over, I'm debating whether we're gonna do like a stream or something after we're done. We'll see. I think it might be worth talking about just because this one is so hotly anticipated and it means so much for the DCEU. So stay tuned to our Twitter and our Facebook page to see if we're going to be doing a live stream talking about that. Now,
spoilers.
No spoilers. Absolutely no spoilers. We won't do that. Now, as you see from the title and as you saw from the title card, we're going to be talking about the superhero TV shows, specifically Supergirl and the Flash. And, it looks like Love is kind of really getting a kick in the teeth right now, because Iris just died last week. Is she going to stay dead? We don't know. She may not. They might surprise us. I wouldn't bet on it, but, and then yesterday, nobody really saw Supergirl and Mon-El being forcibly broken up like they were, but, it is what it is. So, what do we think about the superhero finales? First, let's talk about real briefly about Supergirl. I don't know if GQ saw it. I saw it. Josh, I think you saw it. One of the things that bothered me, I shouldn't say bothered me. It didn't really bother me. I understood it, but it still didn't really sit right. With a silver kryptonite powered Superman, Kara knocked him out, like straight up toe to toe. It wasn't like knockdown drag. It was kind of over within like 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know. Some people say, she shouldn't have been able to beat Superman. I say Wonder Woman's done it. She can probably do it. It is Supergirl's show, so did we expect anything differently? What did you think of the show's finale and the season overall now that it's over, Josh?
Now, so I'm not completely caught up on every episode. I had missed a few here and there, but I watched the finale. We talked about it a little bit in the chat today, as far as my thoughts on the fight were.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, now we don't know if the kryptonite, although affecting his psyche, also weakened him. So I'll give that the benefit of the doubt, but, it's kind of a tropey female empowerment thing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's no bash to women, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, well, people were talking about it earlier in the chat on the show tonight, and it's this idea that, you know, Martian Manhunter has been consistently getting kind of punked out throughout the season. And it's like Martian Manhunter is one of the most powerful entities in the DC universe. Yes. Like Superman to Wonder Woman levels of power, maybe more so in some cases. So I get why they do it. It's her show. It's not Superman's show. I'm not going to like beef them for that necessarily, but I don't know. It reminds me both this and the Flash show. It reminds me a lot of when the New 52 started, and DC was kind of talking about like, well, heroes don't get happy endings with their loved ones, and there was this really odd push for that. Now I get, like, if anyone saw, what was it, season 3 of Arrow, where him and Felicity drive off into the sunset, it was really odd. It seemed so out of place. It's like, yeah, they're not getting a happy ending by any stretch of the imagination. So that's kind of how I feel. It's like, I understand if you know, everything ends up all well and good, there's no conflict, and then hence there's no story. I get why they're doing certain things. With Flash, I seem to care a little bit more because Iris has been around since the beginning of the show. So.
And Mon-El did just kind of just get here, and, you know, it was hit or miss with him. Now, one of the pluses of the Supergirl season 2, I will say, has been Terry Hatcher. She played a fantastic villain. I thought she was really good as a villain. I like the growth of Lena Luthor. I also don't mind looking at Lena Luthor because, man, the actress is playing her. She's quite attractive. But I hate the whole Jimmy Olsen Guardian thing. I always have. I probably always will. Steven Sosa over there on Periscope, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you. Yeah, so as far as Supergirl goes, it is what it is right now. I don't think it's great, but I think it's better than what season 1 was at the end. So I'll say it's at least progressed at that point. So I'm interested to see where it goes. There's been maybe some rumblings that the Legion might be coming next season, the Legion of Superheroes. So we'll see what happens with that. But
according to Batman, Supergirl might be more powerful than Superman anyway.
Yeah, see, and you know how everybody feels about the damn Bat. So take his word as gospel, like, right?
her cells process
metabolize
better
radiation better than Superman. So yeah.
He might be more powerful than him.
Yeah. Well, as the Superman, as the local Superman expert that I'm going to self-deem myself, that was tantamountably proven false when Superman was like, "Yeah, I don't know where you heard that, but I'm gonna tell you the truth right now," and he like knocked her into space.
Out. Yeah, like immediately. It was like quick, fast.
Also, it appears as though we have some. It appears as though we have some German and Russian fans in the chat
from Periscope
joining.
Yeah.
From Periscope joining up.
Periscope,
so although I don't speak German, apparently I'll try to pronounce it right. Begetretten means joined. So thank you for joining. And I don't read Cyrillic, but I'm assuming that means something like joined. So we appreciate it. Hopefully you can understand us.
All right. So now let's jump to
Superman.
Whatever. Let's jump to the Flash. Obviously, Iris bought it last week. We have some theories about what actually happened. I don't want to throw mine out there because maybe you guys might touch on it. I'll let you guys talk about it. Dado, did you watch The Flash? And if you did, what did you think of the kind of surprise ending of Iris getting killed? What did you think? Oh, he's not there. I'll throw it to you, GQ. What'd you think? Do you think she's going to stay dead? And if not, how are they going to pull this out?
I think it'd be a huge shock if she stayed dead because Barry is the person that'll run and change time if like a flower gets stepped on that he really liked. So, I'm pretty sure he's going to run back and change time again for the third time in 3 seasons. So,
yo, man, is there any? Is Barry not like the worst dude like ever? Is he not? I'm like, seriously, man. He created Savitar. I'm like, every single problem that he's had, he's created. Whether it be Reverse Flash, whether it be, well, you can't fault him for Zoom because that wasn't his fault. But whether it be Reverse Flash, whether it be Savitar, whether it be, Cisco and Caitlyn getting powers because he created Flashpoint. Same with Wally. Dude, he's his own worst enemy. Literally, he is his own worst enemy. What do you guys say about that?
I'll say this. So first things first. Yeah, if you had the power to run back in time and potentially change the things that you think are the most horrible, and you're hoping that there will be a good outcome, you might do it. The second time, not so much. But we're still just seeing the results of Flashpoint only this season. So he wasn't making significant damage to the timeline before the Flashpoint. But I had me and my friend were talking about this afternoon at work, and one of the theories that I had is that he is actually he was not perceiving the death of Iris in real time. He actually went into the future again to see how the actual speed cannon would work, or the speed bazooka. And when he then determines and finds out that, well, Savitar has a backup plan for having that ray used on him, being the Philosopher's Stone. Now he knows what his plan is going to be, and now he can actually attack that in real time, and maybe get the Philosopher's Stone away from him. Is my guess.
Now, here's that's Dido. He's trying to join the show and get his webcam working, so we apologize for his technical difficulties, whatever they may be. Marcus Smith actually did bring up something too. He said, wasn't the Dominators also Barry's fault? And I think they weren't they?
The Dominators.
The Dominators,
When
yeah.
the
So the
crossover
Dominators, yeah, the alien race. Now, what they did was they saw a time event, and they saw that as a potential threat, that humanity was becoming basically a big enough threat. Now, that's not necessarily directly Barry's fault, because eventually we would have seen that same problem arise from, say,
Legends.
Supergirl. Yeah, Legends or Supergirl or any of the other like alpha level power people.
Yeah.
Maybe when Superman showed up on Supergirl for the first time,
Right.
they could have used the same excuse. But
Yeah.
the whole time travel thing is, it is what it is. If you ever introduce it into any sci-fi show, it will always be either the solution or the detriment every single time.
Here's the thing, though. Are you guys trying to say that Barry is potentially the Zephram Cochrane of the DC universe?
Could be. Yes. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, we are. Because literally all this metahuman stuff kind of, at least in this TV universe, started with him. Even though it shouldn't have, but it started with him.
Yep.
Hand of Omega says Barry handles loss even worse than Batman does. Now, yes, because he has because the results of whatever he does is so much further reaching than Bruce's. So yes, I will grant you that.
That's because Bruce sits down, mopes about it for a minute, and then goes out and beats some ass. That's what he does.
Right. He's not changing time dude,
I didn't like how Lost ended, man. We got to go back and change that.
Right. Yeah, because literally, everybody should be pissed at him. Like even Diggle, who basically lost a daughter because Barry went and screwed around with the timeline. Cisco has his powers. Well, he kind of already had his powers, but Caitlyn has her powers, and now she's become Killer Frost because of him. Savitar, like I said, has been created because of him. Now, I'll throw out my theory out there. Now, I think Iris isn't dead. What I think happened is that Wally's leg did heal enough that he raced HR there. He switched spots with Iris when Savitar threw her down, and used the transmogrifier on himself to become Iris and put himself in position. Because remember, when we saw him, he was kind of feeling bad about himself because he gave up Iris's location on Earth 2 and stuff like that. So he felt like maybe sacrificing himself might have been the way to make amends. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, the transmagrifier introduction was really, really weird. It seemed like a Deus Ex Machina solution for breaking into the Argus the chamber. So I mean, it's very plausible that they don't introduce something that's that game changing and then not use it again.
Yeah, they're gonna try to do a big reveal.
So
It's a good theory.
I totally imagine that HR took her place. Some people were saying that maybe Joe took Iris's place as Iris, and it's Iris that looks like. But see, that would entail that they needed 2 transmogrifiers, which they didn't have. They only had one. They only had the one. So I think it's HR that switched.
Transmogrifier from 7-Eleven and Earth 6.7 on the way over to this episode. Is all the dimension hopping they're doing now. They probably picked up whatever they needed at Radio Shack.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that could have happened. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens now. If things get resolved, what would happen if Iris did actually stay dead? Like, what do we think would happen if Iris didn't live? If she actually
better find some more eye candy for the show.
For real, man. I would miss Candace Patton being on that show. No lie.
Yeah.
I
think all of a sudden they're gonna bring back his little filly that he had at the police station for a hot minute.
Right.
Oh yeah, Patty. Yeah, I liked Patty too.
Yeah, I liked her too. She was good looking. I don't know. I mean, I would miss Candace Patton. I mean, obviously Iris West is supposed to be the big, love of Barry Allen, to be like essentially killing off Lois Lane in a Superman show. I mean, it would be big, theoretically, but they killed Black Canary and an Arrow. It's not like they haven't done it before. I mean, hopefully they don't do something like, well, I'm just gonna go get Iris from Earth 27, or whatever.
Right.
Like,
like the whole H.R. Wells, replacing him with another H.R. Wells from another world, that type thing. Right. Yeah, there's that. That brings up something else. Marcus Smith says he thinks the solution is going to have something to do with Killer Frost. Now that brings up an interesting theory as well. What do we think is going to happen with Caitlin? I like her better as Killer Frost. I like her personality better as Killer Frost. I like her look better as Killer Frost. I mean, I don't know. I just think she's better as Killer Frost. Do you think she's going to stick around as Killer Frost, or will they change her back?
I think that they'll change her back. They're gonna come up with a way for her to activate her powers on the regular while being able to revert back to, Caitlin Snow. I think is probably going to be the most realistic thing, because I don't know, they're going to maybe make some type of transition where she keeps her human side. We saw a hint of that, but where she keeps her human side, where she keeps the powers of Caitlin Snow is my guess. But I do think that we saw her talking to Savitar with hesitation, and so it makes it very believable that she's going to have some part to play in correcting what's going wrong.
Totally buy that. What do you think, GQ?
I don't know. I think heroes need to have something that defines them, and I think him losing, his fiance, wife, whatever point they've made it up to, would actually work, because it's like, dude, you keep changing the timelines, as you see fit, and it's annoying.
He needs to pay a consequence, a big one.
Right. Yeah, he needs to actually have some type of consequence to his actions this time around.
But wouldn't you argue that losing his father was a consequence? I mean, even when losing his like going back and changing the past, because his father died and making his mother live and all that other kind of stuff and all the fallout of that. I mean, don't you think that he's already been defined by the losses that he's had, all the deaths that he's had? You think he still needs more? Yeah,
because he still hasn't learned his lesson. Even though he had those losses, he's still going back trying to change time, at various points. And it's like, you got to understand that there's certain things that you can't stop. And Iris might be one of those things you can't stop, can't change, can't do anything about. Especially since, we found out who Savitar is. So, I mean, I think it'd be a very interesting consequence. And it's like heroes are defined by loss.
There's some definitive truth to that. I mean, I can't deny that if they're going to make this as being the ultimate lesson that Flash has to learn in not fucking with time, then that would be the ultimate lesson.
Little time cop reset. I love that. Oh my man. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's lost enough. I don't think losing Iris is going to be the end all be all. But it would be very interesting if they did end up leaving her dead. Dido, you're back in. You finally rejoined the show. What do you think? What's your theory of what's going to happen tonight on The Flash?
Oh, it's tonight's season finale?
Yes, it is, sir. What do you think is going to happen based off of what you've seen so far?
Well, I stopped watching it before the musical because, you jump sharks when you start putting musicals and stuff, and you kind of lost my attention. I have no idea what's going to happen. I need to get caught up because, I like superhero shows. I really do. I enjoy watching them every week, except for when they like to do dumb stuff. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the only show that, to me, continued to do the right thing and progress the story and have interesting characters instead of, Arrow, he's becoming a one-dimensional character. Flash is becoming a one-dimensional character. They're becoming the same thing over and over again. I can't stand it. So I may watch it tomorrow.
Okay.
I may not. I got to get caught up. So
okay. Well, then since you brought it up, let's go ahead and transition to that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had its season finale last week Tuesday, and by all intents and purposes, it was an absolutely fantastic episode. It had everything. Like literally, it had everything. I mean, Ghost Rider was really kick ass in that episode. If you guys have not been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm telling you, you are missing out. You are really missing out. If you abandon the show, you need to go back to it. You really do. You really, really do. Now,
I agree.
Ada was probably one of the better villains in all of Marvel. Period. Like in all of Marvel, across all of their shows, Ada might be one of the better villains that they ever had. What's the consensus on that? What do you guys think?
I agree because she made me hate her. I really, literally hated her. I was trying to figure out how they were going to stop this because, her being in a what do you call it, an android or whatever before, she thought using calculated preciseness on how to get stuff done and being able to get past her overrides, being able to, make herself become human. And even then, just like infusing herself with so many different powers from Inhumans, she was damn near perfect. It kind of sucked that she went out so easy per se, but he went out to a really powerful character, and I enjoyed the entire season. I liked the character development, even though some of the character development was just, it was basically fake, like Fitz. My gosh, it went from a 180 to this guy to the head of Hydra. That's how you write a good show. You keep people interested. And I'm sorry for all you guys that said, "Oh, this show sucks and I'm not watching anymore." You missed out on some great.
GQ, what do you think is as far as like Ada being one of the best villains that Marvel has ever had?
Ada is a very good villain because, again, like Dido said, she made you feel something. She made you either love or hate what she was doing. My problem is, and this is going to be sexist, and I don't care, the fact that they finally made her into human, and the very first thing they did is they brought her in on her period. So it's like, dude, seriously? Like, they brought her in right in the middle of the cycles. They were just like, look, you about to catch every bit of emotion to the 10th degree.
Oh, dude, no way.
Anger and all that. I was like, dude, they put her right in the middle of PMS, man. I'm like, dang.
Yo, man, but that one scene though, that one scene with her and Fitz at the base might have been one of the best scenes I've seen on TV in a while. I ain't gonna front. There was.
Oh no, it was really well done.
That was really well done.
The acting, again, this is what happens with, and this is why I liked the show from the beginning, because it's like, okay, it went from being something that really could have just been a one-off of like, we're going to use this to tie in to our movies and use this as an advertisement for our movies. It went from that, in the first season and a little bit in the second season to, no, these characters are fully developed. Here's what they do. Here's why you should care about them. Here's, we're going to do Ghost Rider on TV and make it like a million times better than
the movies ever were.
Yeah,
ever.
Like both Nicolas Cage movies.
Right.
So it's like, and like I said, and it looks like they're branching off either into Sword or the Inhumans, one of the two. So it's like, people might have downed the show at the beginning. I'm like, look, Disney doesn't like to fail. They like money. And they own the network that the show is on. It doesn't matter what night they move it to. It doesn't matter when the show airs. If they want it to be on, it's going to be on.
Great transition. I'm glad you brought that up, Josh. You know, now now that the season is over, we the news is that it's moving to Fridays.
Friday night.
And starting in January, by the way, January 2018. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be back on the air at 9 p.m., not 10 p.m. like it was this past season. Friday's usually the death knell for a lot of shows. What do you think's going to happen with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man?
Well, I can remember all the way back to one of my favorite childhood shows, Briscoe County Jr.
Oh,
with,
my man,
Bruce
yes!
Campbell.
Yes!
And it started out on the death slot Friday night back. This was just after TGIF, when people actually stayed home on Friday nights and watched TV.
Yeah.
Back in the Full House days and
Family Matters days, yeah.
And Family Matters days, exactly. Wholesome Family Fridays and those were good days growing up. But yeah, now Fridays is the death knell, and it makes me afraid for the show. I'm not even a huge fan, but if you are, you do not want any show you like to go on Friday night. Now, Chris makes a point that if Disney owns the company and that the TV show is on, the channel that the TV show is on, rather, and they're into making money, then they'll have that show on for as long as they're making money. But the fact that it is their product and it is their channel, they're going to drop that thing like a bad habit the second it starts moving into the red, and it might happen on Friday night.
Here's the problem, though. You guys are still approaching it from the old school Nielsen ratings thing. And Fallen Marvel makes my exact point. He says, I think it depends on what will be the airing time. He's been catching everything on Hulu for the last few years. The actual watch rate, I don't think is even remotely as important as it used to be, because everybody streams whatever it is that they want when they want it, once it becomes available. So it's not so much that, a whole 50 million people need to watch this on Friday for this show to survive. It's like, no, how many people are downloading it on Hulu or watching it later on on ABC's like app or whatever? They don't even honestly, the advertisers still get their ads through through those different means, but again, like with Hulu, you can I get Hulu Plus or Pro or whatever it's called, where you don't have to watch commercials, but you're still paying a premium for that to have that done. The advertisers are still getting their money through, and the companies are still getting their money. So the ratings in this particular instance, I don't think are going to drive whether or not that show stays on or not. It's whether or not it fits the narrative that Disney wants to push.
The thing is that part of what you're saying is true, that things like Hulu, things like Netflix, if they've got deals where they're going to put that on, you could have a movie that doesn't blow up at the box office that ends up becoming successful in the DVD. Like, say, Batman Begins was a much bigger success on DVD than it was in the theaters, and that's what really made that get this gigantic trilogy. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. dropped more than 1 million, by more than 1 million viewers, to like 3.8 million, and it has a 0.7 in the 18 to 49 demographic. It's like that's about as low as you can go before cancellation. And it reminds me of another show that was canceled. It was the Last Man Standing. People were talking about that. And they were making a bunch of talks about, that it was a political thing and so on and so forth. Well, apparently, based on someone who was in the know on not only that show, but also the behind the scenes industry, was saying that apparently the person who was picking it up, which also happened to be Disney, Disney was now distributing it through the Fox channel, through Fox, just like the same show that the same channel that Gotham is on. Well, after the 6-year contract was over for the initial part of that show, all that money went to Disney to produce and advertise for that show, and it was no longer cost effective, no matter how decent it was doing in the ratings on like a Friday night. So that tells you that even a successful show, Disney's willing to drop it like a bad habit if they're footing too much of the bill and it's not being cost effective enough. And
I agree 100% if this wasn't Marvel.
I don't know.
He says Marvel's got the armor. I
hope
he's right. I hope he's right.
Yeah, for every fan of the show, I hope he's right.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope he's right.
Like I said, I have
Bring
no
back the
concerns
cape.
about
Bring back the cape. I don't think so, homie. That show was bad.
I have no concern on it because it's like I look at it this way: Last Man Standing was an interesting show, no doubt, but it's not something that Disney was even making. It's not something that they themselves had a vested interest in. It was just something that they bought.
There was that. There is that.
Always something that
Well, no, that's where you're wrong, though. I mean, the thing is okay, it's literally an investment property as far as Disney's concerned. It's like, okay, if you can say, hey, I'm going to put $20,000 of capital into your tiny corner store market, but I have an expectation of return on investment. That's exactly what Disney did in a multi-million-dollar fashion, and as I'm sure that they've done with thousands and thousands and thousands of other media products. But they got into a contract that basically said, if the show is successful enough to go this long, then we are going to foot that bill ourselves, with the expectation of keeping that show going. I think that they probably got into that deal expecting a return on investment before that 6 years, but not actually expecting it to go that long.
Okay, but I understand.
They made a bad bet.
I'll put it to you this way: if Disney up and bought Six Flags or Universal Studios and ran the parks and left the Universal Studios moniker or the Six Flags moniker on there, and then they also, of course, have Disney World and Disneyland, who do you think they'll get rid of first?
Oh, well, obviously, we know the answer to that.
So basically, right now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like Disneyland, and they can keep it and do whatever they want with it because it's theirs. It's birthed from them. The other ones they can write off because it's like, dude, we didn't make this. We were just trying to, like you said, trying to make money off of it. And if as long as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. serves a narrative purpose that ties into this bigger Marvel universe, that show is bulletproof, man.
It's possible. Does it actually tie into the bigger universe at whole? Because I thought that they just occasionally dropped the name of Captain America and Tony Stark, but it didn't actually have anything to do with it.
It's supposed to, and it would have, because in the beginning, it did. In the beginning, if you remember correctly, they had characters besides Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Cage. Yeah. They also had
Lady Sif.
Lady Sif. So, yeah, I mean,
please watch our show. Please watch our show.
Yeah,
that was that.
That's basically how it was, but they should have kept it going. But you had some, from my understanding, some stupid feud between the president of television, the president of movies, and that hurts your product. So, that's where that landed. And probably with the Inhumans coming up is probably why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not such a high priority right now. It got pushed back to January, if I remember correctly. The next season won't start until January next year.
Next year, that's right.
And the Humans start this fall.
What should be the biggest priority as far as Disney's concerned is getting Medusa a better wig.
No, come on, man. You know that's going to be CG. You know that's going to be CG. Come on,
it's so bad. But when it's not CG, that's the thing. My God, so bad.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know it does look bad. Stills. We've got a lot of people starting to join us on Periscope, but as you can tell, it's like 7:59. There's the music. We're getting ready to get out of here. It's been a really an entertaining show, guys. I have to tell you. We want to thank everybody for joining us today. We hope that you will join us. Hopefully, maybe a little bit tomorrow. After we go and watch Wonder Woman, we'll kind of give you our raw take on what Wonder Woman is like, if it's going to be worth your time. And we'll try and do a more expanded show next week about Wonder Woman and what it means for DCU moving forward. So I want to thank GQ, and I want to thank Daido Kuji, and I want to thank Josh for joining me today on the show. I want to thank all of you for joining us as well. We hope that you will follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You search Culture Junkies and you'll find us. So for all of these great guys, and for all the rest of the Junkie Nation, I'm sure we'll see you guys next week. We hope you all have a great week and weekend. Peace out.
Peace out.
Bye.